What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another third-party review, and today we're taking a look at the MAGICSQUARE Strongman, and he's a nice little truck in his truck mode here. But unlike our Ultra Magnus, which we looked at last week, I feel like this guy's got the opposite problem where the truck looks fine, but the robot's a little bit too big. Can't win them all. I actually prefer this guy to what we have going on with Ultra Magnus. So let's just bring that right out here, and like emphasizing the silliness of Ultra Magnus, he in truck mode has a smaller truck than a Minibot. Yeah. Here he is next to Optimus Prime, and I think that scale works for a full-size like leader bot versus the Minibot. We've got MAGICSQUARE Architect, who uses probably the same plastic. There's a slight difference in color, but looks pretty much the same. Here is New Age Bumblebee and the New Age Jazz. So I think the scale for a Minibot, it works just fine for me in vehicle mode. And if you watched the MAGICSQUARE Optimus video a couple weeks ago, you know that there was this little accessory. You just split his legs a little, put that in, and it only goes one way and it'll close back up like so. And then that little post goes in there. And Huffer does a much better job pulling Prime's trailer than Prime does. Oops, I mean, it's still only a little tiny peg, but it's better than Prime. And I think that looks just fine. So quick side note with Huffer here is he does come with a gun, but there's no place in the vehicle mode to store it. I guess you could technically kind of peg it in here. It doesn't really fit. Kind of have to split the legs a little to make that happen and kind of keep it like that. But I mean, it's not really in there with any meaningful tension. It'll just fall out. I do like when they build in some kind of storage for weapons. I kind of go back to the Bad Cube, like would have liked to seen this fold up like one little fold and maybe store in here somewhere. I think that would have been pretty nice. Like you could have hinged it right at this part right here, hinged it back down, and had a place for it to slot up in there. And I think that would have been a good idea. But wishful thinking, what can you do? It's too late now. So let's get this guy transformed. We're going to unpeg his legs here. We'll open up these back panels, open them here. Bring this panel out to the side and rotate this around, and you should have just enough clearance when it's at the side to make that go by. This takes a little bit of finagling. You want to get in there and get that tab to align. And then again for the other side, this side is usually the harder side, and clean up the foot. Now this is very easy to miss. There is a little heel spur here that folds all the way out. So we'll do that again. Bring this panel down, slide it around, connect it with this piece down here, bring that down, bring the foot around, heel spur. So that's the feet. We're going to swivel the waist, and then we're going to unpeg the smokestacks here. From here, open this up. Perfect reason why you could have built something in here for this to peg into. Like, look at all that open space. Anyway, unpeg the wheels here, flip them to meet in the center here behind his head. Flip his head around. Bring these arms up on this swivel until they're at the top. And take this and fold it down upon itself, and really it does a good job hiding all the wheels and stuff. From here, just kind of figure out where his elbow is and make sure his thumb is pointing upwards. Again, elbow and upwards, and there we go. We got Huffer / Strongman in his robot mode, and this gun goes right in there. It is a super tight connection, so be careful. So Huffer in his robot mode is really nicely done. I really enjoy him. He's got a lot of ball joints, and he gets plenty of range of motion out of things. Thanks to this moving around and out of the way, you can totally swivel his head anywhere. He does have a tiny bit of up and down on it. Articulation is great everywhere you really would want it to be great. Even with the extra bits on his back, I mean, we could probably extend this out like this. And if we position the heel spurs just right and stuff, he's not going to fall backwards. So that's pretty impressive, but once you bring it in, it really changes the center of gravity much closer to the robot, so he doesn't feel very top heavy back there, or back heavy I should say. Size comparison, here he is with B. I think he's maybe a little tall when you compare him with B, but it's not too bad. If you are doing the MAGICSQUARE scale, though, he does feel very tall when you compare him to a car. But I still am kind of okay with it. It kind of gives the mini-bots personality, in my opinion. Definitely a little bit tall, but it's okay. If you bring in Optimus, I think that's fine. I don't think that that's a big problem. And of course, the MAGICSQUARE Ultra Magnus, I think they all look fine together. So it's really your sensibilities where you feel he lies. I know the MAGICSQUARE cars are maybe more kind of like this, so that maybe, you know, fit your aesthetic better, but for me, I just think the car's too big compared to your Optimus Primes. So let's get our Huffer Strongman back to his vehicle mode and let's get out of here. We're just going to open this up. We're going to swing these all the way down. All the way down. And you can just kind of rotate things if you want. You know that these little slots on the arm are going to have to face inwards, and then these little like grates kind of face outwards sideways. So that should be where this needs to be. And we'll see if we're correct later. Rotate the head around, not necessary, just hides it in its vehicle mode. Bring these all the way around and peg in place. There we go. Bring this piece down like so. It's gonna kind of flip down in place, and then like I said, you bring these and that secures this. And this is the kind of thing that like I've talked about with Ultra Magnus, like yes, this moves, but now it's secure and I don't place it down and feel like the whole thing just kind of flops weirdly. So anyway, rotate the waist here. From here, we'll rotate these little heel spurs on in. We're gonna come around to this piece, pull it to the side, take this, disconnect it, which is a bit easier than connecting it, and rotate it up. From here, we can bring that in place, and we'll just leave that like that. Do the same thing on this side. Disconnect this, bring it around all the way, connect it there. The feet, as you can see, we'll close that, are going to connect back here, while the legs and then the feet have these little tabs that kind of sure up this whole connection. And there we go. There's Huffer back in his vehicle mode. If you are having trouble getting all four wheels to touch, it's just that you need to twist the waist just a little bit more, but you can do that by putting it down on the ground and kind of twisting the cab a little, and you'll get that rotation. So yeah, this is a solid release by MAGICSQUARE. I really enjoy this Huffer. He is a little bit tall for my taste, but I don't really think I'm going to complain about that on the shelf. Not nearly like I am Ultra Magnus. So yeah, this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I will see you next week.